If you're on a crossroad and you don't know where to go, or you don't have any roads in front of you, you might consider like a life-changing moment. So the thing is, you might not have a path to go, but the time is now to make that decision. Welcome back to the Unedited Show. My name is Gonzalo, and today we are here back in the studio, back in the office where we create this multi-camera thing. I've been away and created the last podcasts in a different environment, but we're back here. So today we are talking about when you get stuck on the road and you don't see any path, any way to go, and you feel kind of desperate. And I've been talking a little about self-improvement even with friends and family, and because I'm going through that, because I'm going through some self development that I found myself, and I've been talking a little bit about here, and in being open to change. That's the thing that the theme that I talked about in the last podcast. When you are open to change, you receive the things better, you learn better, everything, but you have to be open to change. But the thing is, sometimes you find yourself in, like I'm talking today, on a crossroad. You might have multiple roads to choose, or you might have none, and you find yourself stuck and you don't know where to take. And sometimes all it's needed is a push. And whether it is you get fired from a job that you actually didn't want to, but you got fired, so now you have to think about other ways to pay your expenses or just put food on the table. Whatever it is, sometimes people find themselves on this crossroads and they have to make a change. And usually on that point, some of the people will say, well, the time is now, and they'll make a change and they'll try new things, or they might take that course that they wanted to just shift completely the work they want to do, whatever it is that you were doing, and you just want to follow your dream doing anything else. And I came across these students that are in my class. They are changing and they want to learn video because they want to change. Some of them might want to create content, some of them would like really love the movies and whatever, and they want to go in that route. So whatever it is making the change, that's when you have to really take the action. And sometimes you don't need actually to be on a crossroad to make the action. And like I've been talking to some of friends and family, it's not when you get to a point that it's okay, or else unless you do this you might die, or unless you do this you might change the path, or unless you do this it's not gonna work well for you. So not everyone has to get to this point. I surely didn't get to that point. I just got to a point where I really felt like I need to beat my procrastination, or I need to beat my deorganization, because I was not very organized. And I really, really wanted to improve myself on these subjects. And I started to find whatever I could do to improve. So I started to listen to stuff, to self-improvement. Actually, I started to do a bunch of things at the same time. I don't actually recommend it because you might fail at some, might fail at others, and everything might collapse like a castle if you're building. But you should actually take at a time and start doing things. But I started with those habits and making better habits, and that actually helped me a lot. By creating those habits, it helped me a lot to perceive my path in a better way, just to be more open to other things, be open to change, but also being aligned with everything that I wanted to do and I wanted to create. And actually, just this week, I got this job opportunity, and it was still in discussion, but I actually didn't want it to make, I didn't go all the way through, and we even talking with the person, because I just felt like this is not for me. I've been to that road. I've been to that path. I don't want to take it again. I really want to take the path that I'm on, and I really wanted to make it work. So as I decided myself to make it work, this path from just a couple of months ago, as this opportunity came up, I really felt constrained. I felt like it was already constraining me, and I didn't even got the job, and I didn't even get to start the job, but it was already constraining me, because once I decided to take this path, that now I see that it's getting really it's working so well in so many ways. And as I'm taking this path, it's just like looking back and see, okay, this is the right path. But I look back and I see, there's the other opportunity. Oh, there's the other opportunity. I might have taken that route. That route kind of looks like, maybe the road is a little bit better than this one. This might be more a jumpy road, might be a more, not undersized, but like more, whatever happens. I actually don't see the end of the road, so it might be a good road, it might not be, and sometimes it's the unknown that will push you forward. It kind of depends on how you are and what you want to achieve. But actually, as I'm getting better at organization, as I'm getting better at sleeping, reading, as I'm getting better at doing exercise, as I'm getting better at learning other new stuff, learning from some high-end people that already figured it out. It's not like everyone figured it out, but there's a lot of people, and I do recommend a lot of podcasts that I've been listening, and I've been listening to a couple that those interviews, I really take the best out of that. And like I said in the last podcast, if you're opening to change, you kind of absorb all that information in a whole different way. So as I'm going through this path and I feel like, okay, this is the path for me, now I really am sure that this is the path that I'm taking, because the way that I feel and how is this improving my life in several ways, even my mental health, it's at a point that has never been before. And this is it feels so right. And every time I hear other people talking about how they made the shift on their lives, and now their lives are at the point they really wanted, or it's not like they're at the point they really wanted, but it's getting there. And every day it's better, and every day it's that point that they wanted. It's at that point they are every day more sure about the path they took. And this sometimes might be, okay, yeah, good, and good for someone like that. But what if you thought that you were at the right path? For example, let's say you've been working in 15 years doing something, and now you get fired and you start questioning whether that's the path or not. Maybe you should have taken that other path. That might happen, and now you feel like, okay, now I have to go all the way back to the crossroad so I can take the same path. But actually, what I'm saying to some people that I talk about this is, you actually don't need to go back and start over, because that's not the way to do it. Because all the knowledge, all the experience that you've gained from that path that you took, even if you feel like it was the wrong one, that path might lead you to combining with the path that you might have wanted to a really, really good path. And by saying this is, for an example, when you're talking, let's say you're a professional soccer coach or football coach, and you thought this was my path, and then you get fired, it's not working for you. I really loved accounting, I wanted to go back to accounting, or the other way around, whatever it is. You might find that, okay, I know I know coaching, I know soccer, I know that, and now I want to go into accounting. Maybe I could take accounting and take the accounting into the soccer. So that way I can mix both and make a new path. And instead of going to accounting and just do accounting for any other companies, you have already been working with soccer teams and with soccer players. Now you might move in that space much better than other person. So you might want to take the accounting into that space and combine them. And that happens with a lot of opportunities and with a lot of things. So let's say, and by saying this example is, I have students that now want to make videos. And they came from different areas, whatever the area is. Let's say you're studying for to be a lawyer, okay? And now you decided, well, lawyer is not for me. I want to really follow my passion. I want to create content. Great. Now you can grab all those years that you learned stuff from lawyering, or maybe, okay, it's not for me because you don't want to practice to be a lawyer or the law or whatever it is. But you might find that creating content, now you'll learn a new set of skills of like video editing, talking to a camera, whatever it is. You might grab those, and you can grab those and make content around being a lawyer or around the law, and trying to explain laws in a different way that you could not explain or you could not talk about once you're working like a lawyer. So you combine those two, and this background that you think it's lost because you've been working there for 10, 15 years, or you've been studying for 3 to 4 years or whatever it is, now you can actually combine with this new skill or new set of skills in a completely different way. But you grab those and you combine them together, and now maybe you're a content creator that it's better talking about law than a lawyer talking about law to some people, because you might have a good lawyer that knows a lot about law but doesn't know how to talk to people. And once you create content and you start talking to the camera and interacting with people and creating content for the people, you'll find that you'll learn what they want and what they need and what's the questions. And you might find that you are doing a very well explanatory videos of the law. And you might, okay, now I'll create some courses around being a lawyer or around the law, not for lawyers, but for anyone. And okay, I know a little bit about law. I now know a little bit about creating content. I'll combine them two, and I'll deliver them on a course for the everyday person, so they can know a little more about laws in doing their taxes, or the laws about being accountable in an accident, whatever it is. So combining, it's not this path, and you don't have to go all the way back to starting over. And when I say the time is now, is if you really find yourself that you're not on the path that you want, Don't think that you have to go all the way back to the beginning, because you might not have to go back to the beginning, because you probably can combine what you already know, what's your experience, with a new set of skills. Then when you combine them together, it will make you like an expert on, for example, if we're still talking about law, you're actually a content creator expert on law. And maybe other lawyers never started a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel, and they are not considered the experts. And you might be considered the expert because you were already learning, you already had the practice in the law, and now you're already practicing the content creation, and you mix those two, and now you're the expert to the world. You're kind of the expert on this. So you might sell courses, you might sell a book, you even might sell books that people that are studying the law will read, because you always wanted to be a content creator, then you start creating content, so you combine those two, and now it's a whole new world. And I know you might hear the song in the background. I don't have that special effect now, but you know the song. And so combining your path with a new path can be really powerful. So if you're on that crossroad, going back to the crossroads, and you feel like, okay, I'm now on a crossroad, I don't have a path or whatever it's going on with you, think that the experience you already got might be very, very useful if you combine it with another one. So that way you don't feel like you've been wasting your life, you've been wasting your time, but you're been gathering knowledge from another perspective, from another source, and now combine it with a second source, and it will make you be successful. So think a little bit about this. This is my take on this, and as I've been talking to people about career changes and about path changes and even being open to change, sometimes the opportunities are right in front of you, and that's why I say time is now. And if you always wanted to learn or take a course, for example, in content creation, it's on its highest level, and you can actually make a career out of content creation. So this is a really huge opportunity for everyone. Think about this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.